Welcome to the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion and Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, June 4th. This is Gina Palma. Over the last 30 to 60 days, we've seen above normal precipitation across most of the Great Basin. The only area that has seen near to just below normal precipitation has been over parts of western Nevada and over parts of central Idaho into western Wyoming. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen scattered thunderstorms across most areas of the Great Basin. These thunderstorms generally produced only light amounts of precipitation, less than 1/10 of an inch, but some areas where we had some heavier lightning over the higher terrain of Utah and over parts of Idaho into northern Nevada, we did see some amounts between 1/4 and 1/3 of an inch of rainfall. We've had no recent snowfall really across most of the Great Basin except the very high terrain where some of these thunderstorms occurred over the higher elevations of Utah and into Wyoming. We still have above normal snowpack for the time of year across all areas of the Great Basin, with the exception of central Idaho, which is near normal. Looking at the Great Basin fire activity over the last 24 hours, you can see where the prescribed fires are in the pink circles, and then where the new fires are in the small red circles over parts of northern Utah, Idaho, and into Nevada. Most of these were caused by lightning. Current field conditions across the Great Basin, with the moisture we continue to see, ERCs are still below the 50th percentile region-wide, and this also puts ERCs well below normal for the time of year. The satellite loop from this morning shows an area of low pressure over parts of southwest Arizona, which will continue moving eastward and allow thunderstorms to again develop this afternoon and evening in similar areas that we saw yesterday. We do have a deeper trough of low pressure off the west coast, which will move eastward and impact the Great Basin later this week. This will bring gusty winds, cooler temperatures, and more widespread areas of showers over the northern half of the Great Basin. In the meantime, temperatures will remain well above normal for the next couple of days. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, again, as this trough of low pressure to our south moves eastward, it will allow for showers and thunderstorms to again redevelop this afternoon and evening, with probably the heaviest concentration of lightning over the eastern half of the Great Basin and in the Sierra. With this ridge of high pressure off the west coast, temperatures will remain 10 degrees or more above normal across the Great Basin through today and tomorrow. Ventilation index will remain generally low with these lighter winds over the southern half of the Great Basin. Looking at the winds, the transport winds today, you can see generally gusty winds only over parts of central Idaho and over parts of far southern Nevada, but generally light to moderate winds across most areas of the region. Mixing heights will remain moderate to high. As we move through the day on Wednesday, this trough of low pressure moves eastward into New Mexico, with thunderstorms decreasing and mainly only occurring over the far eastern side of the Great Basin. Ventilation index will start to improve with better dispersion as this area of low pressure off the northwest coast moves eastward, and we start to see some of the winds increase over central Idaho. Looking at the transport winds on Wednesday, you can see those winds increase in the Pacific Northwest and up into Idaho and far northwest Nevada, with lighter winds elsewhere and moderate to high mixing heights. Temperatures will also remain well above normal through Wednesday, but as this trough of low pressure moves into the northwest, on Thursday we will start to see temperatures decrease over the northern half of the Great Basin, along with increasing southwest winds and better dispersion. We'll generally see cloud cover start to move into parts of Idaho with only some light shower activity on Thursday. Transport winds again increasing with gusts above 30 miles per hour over parts of the northern half of the Great Basin, again allowing for that better dispersion and still high mixing heights. Looking at the Utah forecast clearing index for the next few days, the clearing index will greatly improve as we move towards Thursday and those winds increase across Utah. In the meantime, they'll remain generally low to moderate, with the exception of parts of some of the lower elevations of southern and the eastern half of Utah, which will have a little bit higher clearing indices. Looking at our forecast amount of precipitation over the next few days, generally scattered precipitation is associated with thunderstorm activity. Most areas only seeing light amounts of precipitation, but under those heavier thunderstorms, certainly 1/4 to up towards 1/3 of an inch of rainfall or even more is possible, especially over northern Utah into eastern Idaho and Wyoming. As we move into Friday, this trough of low pressure moves into central Idaho. We will see those cooler temperatures over the northern half of the Great Basin, dropping from the well above normal temperatures we'll see through the middle of the week. Temperatures will drop to below normal, and highs only reaching the 60s to near 70 degrees over the northern half of the Great Basin by Friday. We'll also see a better chance of more widespread shower activity and some thunderstorms as that trough moves through. Dispersion, obviously, as the winds increase, will greatly improve across all areas. On Saturday, this trough moves into the northern Rockies and up into Canada, so we will see drier air moving in behind that trough. However, still cooler temperatures on Saturday and breezy winds. Most of the precipitation by Saturday will generally be located over central Idaho and areas further north and east. Again, good dispersion with those gusty winds. By Sunday and into the early part of next week, we will start to see a return of a ridge of high pressure with warming temperatures, decreasing winds, and drier conditions later in the weekend. By Monday, similar conditions, dry weather, generally warming temperatures across the area. However, we will see a return of thunderstorms by the middle of next week. Forecast amounts of precipitation from Friday through Sunday show the bulk of the precipitation associated with that low being located over the northern portions of the Great Basin. However, we will see those showers possibly extend further south into northern Utah and eastern Nevada as well. Low fire potential is expected across the Great Basin for the next 7 days, but you can see as we start to see some warmer and drier weather Friday through the weekend, some areas of California starting to dry out. The 8 to 14 day outlook, taking us into the second and early third portion of the week of June, shows above normal temperatures at the western side of the Great Basin, but still generally above normal precipitation in most areas, with the exception of Idaho. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.